Yes! Yes! No shot, man! I'm deceased. Yes! Yes! That's so hard!
I'm sure you can, but
Is it Bradley? Is it Bradley?
greetings, I'm back.
Welcome back to another Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood video. Today we have episode 56. So again, the show is just continuing to give me what I want and things I didn't even know that I wanted. The Alex and Sig team up, Izumi coming into the mix as well. Absolutely fantastic. The Hohenheim and father confrontation all starting to unfold as well. And of course, Bradley is back. As soon as we think we have control over Central, here comes the Fuhrer. We knew it was coming, but he's here, he's back. And that's got me thinking, pretty much at this point, the only character we haven't really checked in with what they're doing is Greed, Ling. And I think with Bradley back in the mix, it would be a perfect time for Greed to pop up again. Now there's kind of two schools of thought with Greed, right? We know his new thing is to become ruler of the world. So with him going to Central, I guess it kind of makes sense for him to be going after Father. Maybe if he can deal with Father or achieve what Father is trying to achieve, then Greed could perhaps rule the world. But when Greed started moving to Central, right, he knew Bradley was missing. So now that Bradley's back, perhaps Greed goes after him. They had a fight a while ago when Greed started to get his memories back from his previous self, and we know Ling and Bradley's deal as well. So I think that would be a perfect confrontation. We'll see if that even happens here. We know Lan Fan was off looking for Ling as well as Fu. So I think it's about time we get to see what all those characters have been doing. But at last, we will see. This show has been giving me everything that I want, so whatever we get this episode, I know it's going to be good. With all that being said, I'm going to go into the episode now. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 56. Huh? The desert. Is this a Xing thing, perhaps? Yeah, where are we? Did I click on the right show? Oh. Wait, when is this?
Just calm down. We need to have a civil conversation about this. Give me a chance to talk to you. And I'll listen to everything you have to say. We're all in this together.
Bro, when the episode starts with the Hohenheim flashback, it's always so good. I feel like this is just after the Xerxes incident, excuse me. I could be wrong though. Shingi's people? Maybe it's not though, I don't know. No, it could be. Or maybe they found him.
He must be from the west. I guess we should at least take the time to bury him.
Hey yo, now he's alive though.
Whoa, wait, he's still alive! Impossible!
He can't die, but he still needs food and water.
Just drink it nice and slow. Only take
This must be how he ended up at Xing.
I've got no place to go.
Yep. Xerxes is gone.
I had to get as far from Xerxes as I could. Too scared. I know you are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't stop.
I feel like he's talking to the souls inside of him.
I'm so sorry, Sergeant.
Yeah, he must be. Oh, the return of the Fuhrer. Woo! I love some Hohenheim to start off an episode.
There was Sergeant, the renowned master carpenter. He was
Yep.
in the palace for repairs. Do you remember him?
They're all part of him now.
Sure had
I've been waiting for something like this. I'm so happy.
Then there's the florist, Kaya. Sari, the stable hand, could never get his fill of liquor. Trust me, I've had to drink for him. Tommy's boyhood dream was to become a respected scholar. Guido Rouge worked as a cook.
Wait, he's done all of these things. Wait, is that right? Has he been going off doing all these things?
Ondal, he bitterly considered me his rival. Sal was somewhat of a remorseless reprobate. He was probably the most determined to get one last shot at you. Just how would he go about that? Every single one of these tortured souls has now invaded your being.
Okay. They're attacking him. Wow.
You're contaminated, and each soul inside you is working with me. Working to see your destruction.
That's so dope.
Supposed to believe that your philosopher's stone has individual wills? Those souls were reduced to mere energy.
No.
I was convinced I'd be driven mad trying to individually sort out the ocean of screaming voices.
Wow.
had plenty of time to converse with each and every one of them.
That's insane that he's been doing that.
You actually spoke with them?
That's right. Unlike you,
He did what you wouldn't.
It took time, but I managed to learn the name of every last soul.
Oh my.
6,329.
What?
You trapped inside of me.
All of them. 500,000? But Father cast them out into the homunculi. That's the difference. Oh, what?
Why, you...
That's wild.
Return to the nothing you were born of. Your flask is broken, dwarf. We will destroy you.
Talk to him.
And that container of yours is the first to go.
Oh! From the inside out? Wait, this is wild.
All we have to do is tear through that leather bag you designed to look like me.
Yeah, this is what he said.
Reduced to dust. You
Interesting.
will suffer the pain of the thousands of lives you've ruined.
What's going on? You know, something's gonna happen. Oh, I hate it. What is it? What is it? Is he taking a different form? Look, this is it. Oh, why is he? Is he eating? That's disgusting.
You've picked up the bad habit of condescension in your many years, haven't you?
Was he ready for this or something?
How is it possible you can live without your skin?
Did you honestly believe you're the only one capable of evolving? I told you that I intend on becoming the perfect...
Dude, he looks wild. Sick transition. Okay, we're here. Wow, that was nothing like I expected.
Storming a front?
You serious?
Do they really expect me to make a complete mockery of myself?
Look how good Bradley is drawn here. Here we go, it's time. Oh, stop it. He doesn't stop the... Oh, Bradley. Oh! They put that tank all the way in reverse. Oh, all the brig soldiers. Oh! Bradley!
Take over the controls!
Now you're a dead man, I'm so sorry. Ooh. It's the grenade. Bradley is a demon. We need help.
I don't believe it. The old bastard just took out a tank.
And it was easy. Uh-oh, Buccaneer, no! He's not dead. He's not dead. Like I said, I've been expecting casualties, but he's good. He might not be good after this one, though. Okay, it's just a crocodile. Oh, dear.
Captain Buccaneer!
What's the issue here? Your country's leader has returned. Now open the gate for me.
Fullman.
Please forgive me, Colonel Mustang. Looks like I'm dying here.
Damn, he's not gonna do it. Good man.
That's enough of that.
He's still going. Come on, Buccaneer.
Heroic death crying like a coward.
Tell him. That's the chain from his crocodile?
Gonna die a more manly death than I am.
Let's go. The Briggs way.
Humans always make a point out of being foolishly stubborn.
Humans. Yes! Yes!
Get so frantic in the heat of the moment. Like it's gonna do them any good.
Let's go!
Pathetic as it may be, and they sure are. I still prefer to side with the underdog.
Let's go, Greed. I knew it. I knew it. I'm so here for this.
Well, that's incredible news. I just got
Mrs. Bradley.
but it's all right. The Fuhrer is alive.
Yep. Oh. Dude, but she doesn't know, though. Like, what Bradley is. But that's good. At least she gets a little win here, you know? You can tell she really loves Bradley.
We'll have to pin this on Briggs. We have to protect the Colonel.
Dang. Oh, what a switch up here. But I get it though, but...
If the Fuhrer is battling soldiers from Briggs, that leads me to believe General Armstrong is leading the group.
Ah, Olivia. Ross and Fury.
Fighting with Fuhrer Bradley could backfire on us.
It just feels so wrong, having to blame General Armstrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Looks like they've got us completely surrounded, too.
They're in trouble now.
The whole city thinks we're on the Fuhrer side. So we've at least made it difficult for them to attack us outright.
Okay.
But it won't take too long for Bradley to call our bluff.
When that happens, they'll probably kill us right away.
Wait, even with his wife here?
I honestly doubt that he has any real attachment.
That's interesting. That's an interesting line. Here we go.
If you had any sense at all, you would have stayed out of my sight for good.
Yeah, my avarice tends to make these decisions for me.
That's Ling.
Right now, I want your life.
Okay. Is one of them gonna die here? I'm so nervous.
Rumor has it that you died a fiery death in a train accident.
Let's just say that I have sharp eyes.
Damn, he get out the way.
It only took a moment for me to evaluate a path among the falling rubble.
What? He jumped through the rubble, man. Stop it.
However, the years do take their toll. The whole ordeal left me with a few aches and
A
pains.
few aches and pains.
You're Ling Yao, right?
Hey!
He just pops out.
Since we hid out in that crummy apartment. It's good to see you, Warrant Officer.
Warrant officer.
Whatever, I owe you one, so I'll give you a hand. And I've got a score to settle.
The truth is, we both got a
Dude, the way they switch is so dope.
Come on!
That's what I'm saying. There's so much behind this fight. Ultimate Eye versus Ultimate Shield.
Trying to hide in my blind spot, huh?
I'm surprised that I didn't think of it, but the prince gave me a few good pointers on
Oh,
how to
dude. As a team.
Unfortunately for you,
Uh oh, it's time. I don't have a blind spot.
He's gaining the upper hand.
Yep.
Starting to look bad.
He's starting to look. Lanfan. Lanfan's gonna come in. I'm sure of it.
Fire! Open fire!
Dude, they're helping though.
Damn it! Stay out of this!
He doesn't want him to. And they just got themselves killed. Oh, that was sick. Buccaneer, no! He might be done here, man. Oh, stop it. The Briggs way with a sword sticking out of him.
got some rather impressive abs, huh?
Now what are you gonna do without your fancy sword play?
He's got his sword.
I appreciate the help!
Now, let's see.
Damn, he just took what, the knives from the Briggs soldier?
Not exactly my
stop it.
choice, but I guess that I'll just have to make do.
Piss me off now.
It's gonna transition again. Yep. Damn, all the backup is here. Yep.
Send in all available forces.
Oh dear.
Wipe out these worthless Briggs traitors, and then we'll rescue the Fuhrer.
Hmm.
The reinforcements. We're retaking the main gate. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what a switch up from last episode. We had the gate for like a hot minute and that was it.
They're sending another battalion up the shaft.
Sorry, but I'm kind of busy if you haven't
Okay, we need help.
deal with it. Just figure it out!
Lanfan, Fu.
It's easier said than done. Hang in there! I guess it really is up to me.
Man, is it gonna just be Foreman? There's no way.
Cap, grab that gun. We're moving it.
Yes, sir!
Oh. Interesting, what are we gonna do? If that's the only way up, they can hold that maybe? Yep. Oh dear. That's a lot of blood on this man's hands right now.
Do we have any men inside we can call? Have them force open the gate from their end.
What? I don't understand.
Huh? Oh, the zombies still, right? The zombies? Yep, the zombies are still around.
Monsters? What is that? What the hell's going on? Wait, I think I see something.
Oh no. It's them! It's them! It's them! Yes! Yes! Lan Fan, Fu, both of them. It's Fu! Here we go! Oh, he's so quick.
Nice moves, old man.
Let's go.
Thanks for the help. Really saved my ass.
I wasn't trying to save your ass. I was saving the body of the young lord.
Well, it's the same ass.
Your chi is radiating from the prince's body. So, why don't you tell me who this is we're fighting?
That's Fuhrer King Bradley, old man.
That's him.
Well,
He's the one who took Lan Fan's arm. I never thought about this. Yeah, he's gonna be so mad.
so now I know what the bastard who took my granddaughter's arm looks like.
Let's not get too angry, Fu. We've just seen with Roy what that does, but that's crazy. I didn't even think about this. Ah! Excellent. Once again, I'm just getting things that I wanted. I'm so happy that Greed and Ling are back and seemingly working together against Bradley. It just made so much sense, right? As soon as Bradley came back into the mix, I'm like, okay, Greed and Ling are probably coming back as well. All right, but let's talk about that opening sequence. That was nuts. Like I said, every time we start an episode with some sort of Hohenheim flashback, it's just something else, and this was no exception. So we get Hohenheim walking through the desert, presumably between Xerxes and Xing, and my initial reaction based on his condition was that this was just after the destruction of Xerxes, which does seem to be the case. And he's saying, like, we need to have a civil conversation about this. Please give me a chance to talk to you. And I'm like, he must be talking to the souls inside him, which we find out later on is true. And I don't know how long exactly after the destruction of Xerxes this is, but it does seem quite recent. He's not in a good condition. We know he's immortal at this point, but he still needs food and water. But is this his initial reaction to the whole situation? He has all of these Xerxian people, like 530,000 or something, he said, and his initial reaction is, now we're all in this together, right? I'm gonna figure this out for y'all. I'm not just gonna disregard you as part of my being now. I'm actually gonna consider you as people, just like his sons Ed and Al continue to do. He gets picked up by a bunch of Xingyi's merchants, and I believe they take him back to Xing, and that's how he ends up in Xing, and how the whole Alchemist situation arises. And you can see he's still talking, not to the Xingyi's people, but to the souls inside him. Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't stop him talking about father. And he mentions surgeons specifically. And when I get to the conversation he has with father later on, I'll see if he does bring up who exactly Surgeons was. And then we go straight into Hohenheim talking to father in the present. And Surgeons is the first person he mentions, right? The renowned master carpenter and his son Zer. And he's mentioning a bunch of the names of the Xerxian people whose souls are now trapped inside him, what they all did, what their dreams were. And he mentions one person in particular, Asari, I believe, talking about how much they like to drink. And Hohenheim saying, look, I've had to drink for him. You know, I'm trying to fulfill his desire. And then when he talked about, you know, someone like to cook and whatnot, and I was thinking, I might have jumped onto this and latched onto this a little bit too quickly, but I'm like, has he been going out and kind of doing all these things for the souls inside of him? Because I know when he was up in Lior, you know, he was helping, you know, fix the town. He mentioned carpentry and then cooking. He was helping Rose as well. Even Tami he mentioned, who wanted to be a respected scholar. I remember seeing images of Hohenheim, you know, being up in his study back in Risenbull studying and whatnot, but that could just be unrelated. He could have just been looking at information for father and whatnot, which I think is what he was doing, but it's still like an interesting connection potentially. Now, whether or not that is actually the case, that Hohenheim's actually going out and fulfilling these people's desires for them, I very well could be overthinking that particular detail, but it is a really interesting thing to think about. But the main takeaway from all of that, which Hohenheim goes on to talk about, is that he has taken the time to go and learn over the 500,000 names of all the people inside of him, talk to each and every one of them, and he's had hundreds of years to do this, and that's what he's been spending this time doing. It's insane to think about. And this was Hohenheim's plan, to destroy the body of father, the leather bag, if you will. Every single soul inside of Hohenheim is working with him, now inside of father's body, when father tried to like absorb his philosopher's stone, to destroy father from the inside out. right? They all want to get back at him for what they've done, for trapping them essentially in a Philosopher's Stone inside Hohenheim's body. And Hohenheim has taken the time to hear their cries, to hear their voices, and they're all willing to do this for him. And you can see the comparison straight away. Father's like, no, they were reduced to mere energy. That's how he's viewing these souls, just as a source of fuel. Whereas Hohenheim and his sons as well, he still sees them as humans, as human souls. And this is what Hohenheim meant when he said to Father after he tried to absorb his Philosopher's Stone, I did what you wouldn't. I listened to the voices of the souls. I learned their names. I didn't disregard them as energy. And they start doing some crazy things to Father. All these spikes are coming out of him. It looks like, they're breaking down his shell, right? His body on the outside from the inside. But Father was ready for it in a crazy way. Like he sheds his skin almost and he comes out as this just dark shadow form. And I cannot get past the fact it does look a little bit like the Truth, right? That we see in the portal. I believe the Truth is just a white figure though, but it's the same sort of thing. Like there's no eyes, there's just a mouth. It gave me that kind of vibe, and this was just black and dark. And then he eats his skin, like the body. Like why do we have to do that for? It's disgusting. So perhaps, yes, Hohenheim has destroyed the shell, the leather bag, right? But Father is ready for it. He said he's not the only one capable of evolving. And then all the eyes appear on his body, big eye on the roof opens up, and he's like, I told you, I intend on being a perfect being. So just as expected, it's not going to be that simple for Hohenheim, right? Something is going to happen to do with this transmutation circle. I know we're going to get there. I don't know what it's going to be, but I knew it wasn't going to be this simple. I just didn't expect it to happen in this way. Like that's nuts. But that's all we get from those two for this episode. I'm so keen to see more. Like, is it at the point where Hohenheim's going to need help now? We know Ed and Roy, that squad is on the way. May and the Chimeras are down there as well. Did Alex and Olivier, maybe even Izumi and Sig go down there as well? We'll have to see, but I'm very excited. Now we spend the rest of the episode at Central Command. Bradley is here, just as strong as ever, wreaks havoc on his way up into Central Command. Tank, nothing to him. Soldiers in the way, nothing. It's easy, just setting the tone. We know how strong Wrath is, and he's making his presence felt. And I love the way that they're drawing him this episode. He just looks like so, like Wrath, like it's so good. Now let's give Buccaneer his flowers, all right? He is embodying what it means to be a Briggs soldier. He will not lay down. He just goes straight for Bradley, right? He gets slashed, he gets back up, he loses the crocodile, he gets back up again. He's got like the chain from the chainsaw wrapped around his hand. And props to Fullmetal as well. In that instance, I wouldn't have blamed him if he just wanted to live and open the doors for Bradley. But he says, no, I'm sorry, Roy, Colonel, I might be dying here, but I'm gonna stand my ground. Tough. And then Buccaneer comes in with his Briggs values, like, you can't die like a strong death, crying there like a coward. I can still fight, I've got all this fight in me. It's just, I love it. Like, both of these characters really holding their ground. It makes me very happy. And then Greed comes in, and what an entrance, sitting right at the top, says some fantastic lines. I still prefer to side with the underdog after all of this. And of course he comes for Bradley. Initially I thought it was gonna be Father, right, before Bradley came back. But as soon as Bradley was in the mix again, I'm like, yeah, Greed and Ling, they've got a score to settle with Bradley. Of course they come after him, and here they are. And we do get a little break away from that back to the radio station. Bradley's wife is informed that Bradley is indeed alive, which is really good for her. Like I said, I think this woman deserves any sort of win that she can get at this point. But again, she doesn't know what Bradley is, what's going on. And I will be honest, I think I've misunderstood a lot about this coup situation. Again, like I've said, all of this politics sort of stuff, it's not my kind of thing. So I get a bit dizzy with all of it. But I think what I'm making of this now is that Roy's squad and everything are making it out to look like, in Bradley's absence, that one of the soldiers up there, for example, like Kremen, right, is using Bradley's absence to take control of the military, right? And Roy's squad and everything are making it look like that they're on the Führer's side, right? They're siding with the Führer in this instance. And that's what the public would look at in a good light, right? Because they still see King Bradley as the Führer, as good King Bradley, right? So they've chosen to make it look like they're siding with him, for the benefit of the views of the Amestrian people, I think. But now that Bradley's back and Bradley knows what the actual situation is, it's just a matter of time before that all falls apart, right? So I think I understand that now. I'm not entirely sure if I really had an opinion of what was going on before this. I just know that it was shedding Roy and his squad in a very good light, and that's what matters, right? But now that Bradley is back, all of that does become a bit of an issue. The radio station is surrounded. Ross and Fury have a conversation about, look, what do you think they're going to do to us? And they mentioned that, look, I doubt Bradley actually has any attachment to his wife, so I feel like they just shoot us on sight as soon as Bradley gives the order, and that's very interesting. Like I said, I think there's going to be some sort of family situation between Bradley, his wife, and Celine. Mrs. Bradley currently has a very different view on Wrath and Pride than we do, right? So I wonder if she'll actually figure out who they actually are, what they've been doing. You know, Bradley did choose Mrs. Bradley to be his wife, so I think he does have some attachment to her, and we know Celine speaks fondly of her as well, so I'm just really interested to see what happens with all that. I know that line is not thrown in there by accident. Back to Wrath versus Greed. Bradley talks about how he escaped the train situation. As soon as the cars blew up and they were falling, he's, you know, with his ultimate eye, I guess, he's just evaluated an escape route straight out of the rubble, all the way up into a tree. Sick, really cool. And he says, look, the years have taken a toll on me. I have a few aches and bruises from all of that. So we know Bradley is the only homunculus that physically ages. So I wonder if there is an element of truth to that. We know he is a homunculus with a seemingly immortal body, but I wonder if the physical aging does actually make a difference to him. It's very interesting. And the way that Ling and Greed swap out so freely now, like Ling pops out to talk to Fullmetal and then Greed pops back in just in time to fight, is so cool. Just how seemingly they switch freely between each other now. It makes me so happy. I never thought we'd get to this situation. Like, Ling is a homunculus with Greed of all people, and they're just being one with it for now. It's fantastic. And as they start fighting, Greed's even talking about how Ling's like giving him tips on how to fight. Bradley trying to stay in his blind spot and whatnot. Just shows how they've been working together and actually coexisting, which is really cool. But then Bradley takes off his eye patch, reveals his ultimate eye, and then the fight becomes not even close. It just seems like Wrath is going to overwhelm Greed in this instance now. Some Briggs soldiers step in to try and help by shooting at Bradley. It does them no good. They just get sliced up, and Buccaneer comes in with his rage mode after watching some of his soldiers get killed, right? And it's light work for Bradley, sword straight through Buccaneer's gut. But Buccaneer is a Briggs demon. He is not backing down even with a sword in his gut. And it's worked out. Now he's got Bradley's sword. Bradley is unarmed. But Bradley just takes a couple of daggers from one of the fallen Briggs soldiers, and now he's dual wielding. Looks pretty cool, I won't lie. We pan back outside of Central Command. All the reinforcements are arriving now. So many soldiers, and it's up to Fullmetal to deal with them. Greed and Ling, they're dealing with Bradley. Buccaneer, he has a sword in his chest. All we have left is Fullmetal. So Fullmetal gathers up the remaining troops they have, grabs that massive turret, and because there's only one entrance up that big stairway tunnel situation up to where they are, they man the gun right at the top, and they just start raining down bullets, pins down all the soldiers, preventing them from getting up and helping Bradley. So the soldiers try to take a different way in, right? They radio the soldiers that are still inside. Like, can you open the door from the inside? You know, the zombies are still in there wreaking havoc. You know, we can't let them out into the public, and that's something that's been in the back of my mind. If that actually happens and there are actually civilian casualties because of the zombies and they're out there in the world, like, that would be insane. I don't know if we're gonna get there, but that's something really crazy to think about potentially happening. But the situation is calling for backup. We need someone to rock up, and I'm thinking Lan Fan or Fu, right? I was hoping Lan Fan, but I'm very happy with Fu here, and I'll get to why in a minute. But I really thought it would be Lan Fan. We know she left Hohenheim to go and look for Ling. But to be fair, Lan Fan got a lot of action against Gluttony in that last little sequence when they were off in the woods fighting with Pride and all of that, and Fu went off to do recon. So I think it's well deserved that Fu gets some proper action here. But Fu zooms his way up the stairs right to Greed's aid. Not to Greed's aid, to Ling's aid. Greed is just using Ling's body. So Fu is expressing his distaste towards Greed. Like, I'm only here for Ling because you're in his body. And when Fu realizes who he is fighting, that's also when I realized why Fu would have beef with Bradley. Bradley is the one who took Lan Fan's arm, Fu's granddaughter. And Fu's out here looking angry, like he was damn near trembling with rage. Now, we just seen with Roy and Envy what that can potentially do. I don't think we're gonna go down that route with Fu, but it is interesting to think about. And I'm a little bit nervous in this situation too. I feel like something might happen to Fu. I don't know, I've just got a bad feeling. I know Lan Fan's gonna rock up as well. So I think she's gonna jump in and save Fu at some point, or Ling. I'm really excited about that. We're actually getting the Shingi's battle that I wanted. And against Bradley of all people, it's great. I can't wait to see more of it. But that was it. That's the end of the episode. Again, fantastic. More team ups that are making me so happy, and more Hohenheim lore, right? Just when you think this character can't get any deeper, right? He's been conversing with all these souls. That is one of the craziest things to actually think about. Throughout all these hundreds of years, Hohenheim has spent conversing with the 500,000 souls inside of him. And it's nuts that his sons really are a chip off the old block, you know? They view the souls the exact same way. I love that. But I think I'm going to leave it there for that one. I feel pretty good about that. So many things happen. Again, just more setup. It's just continuing on from episode to episode. All of these fights, all of this lore, everything's slowly coming together. All the conclusive fights are starting to happen of all these characters that have had development together through all of this time. I really love it. But that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, please feel free to continue leaving your comments and feedback down below. You know I always appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.